A very good evening to you, our esteemed viewer. I know the mood is already jovial. Yeah, we know it's just a few days to Christmas. And when you talk about Christmas, a lot of memories come back to us. But I believe God has kept you well. The fact that you can listen to this voice, the fact that you can see this image, we are grateful that you have decided to watch Church of Uganda Family TV among the very many stations probably, but we are grateful and we don't take you for granted. Now, this is the Family Hour, and today is our Tuesday edition where we talk about health, and it is very important that we pay attention to the health, especially now that we are getting closer to the big days. Of course, we have Christmas, then Boxing Day, then we have the New Year's Eve. Yeah, it is quite a long holiday, and I know some people have already taken their leave. Yeah, so people are already home, others are traveling to the villages. I remember early morning today, the Archbishop was giving his Christmas message, but remarkably, the provincial secretary said something that is funny. He said some people are traveling back home, so not in the village, but they're traveling back home. Yeah, we pray that God grants you journey mercies. However, as you are there, or to some of you who will stay here, it is important to mind about what you're going to eat, how you're going to eat it, because it is very unfortunate that because of these few days of merrymaking, we might again now develop the non-communicable diseases. When we talk about non-communicable diseases, these are diseases that are partly brought about by our behavior, and one of the behaviors is of course what we eat and how we eat it. Now today we want to see how you can revamp your eating habits this festive season. Of course, when we talk about Christmas, my mind runs back to that small village in Zambia where I grew up from. I remember, and of course this is to very many of us. I know as I share this story, you might be remembering something as well. One of the things that we always remembered about Christmas was the food, because this was a day we used to eat some of there were those particular foods that were not so common, so this was the only day to eat such foods. So the funny thing is that as we ate these foods, we ate them in plenty. So we eat maximally, we eat more than what our body probably needs or what. So it was really very, very funny. But after eating all that food in one day, as if there is no tomorrow, then after a few hours you're hungry as if you've not eaten anything. Now the question the next day is, did you eat what your body needed, or you ate to satisfy the stomach? But in the end, sometimes what you ate is really not very important for your body. Now very important that we mind about we eat. One of the things we used to eat is chicken. I cannot forget, chicken was not so common like these days. Chicken was always chicken, and then meat. You get very many pieces on Christmas, and then that is when you eat brown rice, white rice, deep fried Irish, then boiled Irish, quite a number of things we used to eat. So people, the PKs like Luke, Majumba might not understand what we are talking about, but this was life, this was Christmas, and these were things that made Christmas fun. Of course, you were excited, most especially about the food. And I know as we talk about Christmas now, very many of you are excited about the various dishes. Of course, I know some of you even started in the villages. People have started securing the banana fibers, the mpombo, the what, and all that. So today we want to see how can you revamp your habits so that you go through this season and you come back healthy as you went into the holiday, because in the end you need to come back. We need to see you alive again. Now with us is Kamara Daniel, who is a clinical nutritionist. He's going to take us through today's topic. Daniel, you're most welcome this evening.
Thank you so much, Mr.
It's a pleasure having you again. Kindly greet our viewers and then we shall get into the discussion.
Hello everyone, I'm Kamara Daniel. I'm a clinical and a community nutritionist. I'm very passionate about what you eat, you who is watching me on family television. I am very passionate to know why did you eat that food, where did you eat it from, and actually do you know its function. Do not eat because of availability, but eat because of a reason. Yes.
Okay. Eating because of a reason.
Yes.
Well, I think I love it when you say you're passionate about what people eat and where they eat it from. Does it really matter where I eat from?
Yeah, especially in this Christmas, and that's why we are here. Especially in this Christmas, the festival has begun and people are really traveling. It's very important for persons to know how they eat, what they're eating, and actually why are they eating that brown rice plus white rice plus the green colored rice.
That was fun. I mean, during our days, that was always fun. At least those are some of the things, like I was sharing the memories earlier. These are some of the things that made Christmas memorable.
Those things, it's no longer like that. It's,
okay.
It's like, I often tell people that when I visit you right now to your place, you have the audacity to first ask me, would you love to have some coffee? Would you like to have some porridge? And I have the audacity to say no, it's fine.
Are we not deviating from our African customs?
It's not African, but because of the rise of the non-communicable diseases, the cancers related to food, and if you see the statistics of Uganda right now, the NCDs, do you know 4.1 billion people worldwide live with non-communicable diseases? Yes, and the risk factors related to these are mostly connected to food. Time for eating. People are eating supper 10 p.m. There are even some people who have not yet even bothered preparing supper for today, and they are watching.
I mean, it will come at around 10 or even 11.
Imagine now you eat rice plus posho plus those beans. You take a glass of water and you've taken them at 11:30 and you're sleeping at midnight. The next day, and you are 40 years. What do you think would be the result? When you eat these carbohydrates, they pile up in the body and the body breaks them down, tries to look for a method to store them and to store it as glucose. And now when glucose is not overused, it will turn into what? Diabetes. So actually for people who are going for Christmas, do not make these holidays be a capture. These holidays can actually capture you and you get what? The NCDs, because you're going to eat a lot. And what the most common...
Actually, people have started eating a lot because literally the holidays have begun. People have already taken their leave days. People are already sleeping and waking up because it has been a very long year. So someone said, at last, someone can sleep. No pressure of waking up early in the morning to rush for work. So someone really takes time to sleep, wake up, breakfast in bed, sleep again. To put off steam, I mean.
Stress, even to cut off stress. But one way of killing stress is walking around. And number 2 is leaving the city. If you're in Kampala, you're not planning to leave for the Christmas. That means you don't want to relieve the stress, the depression, because you need a fresh environment. You need to interact with people. But also, we have common diseases that result from food. Especially the common immediate one will be heartburn. People who eat sugary. If you mix, people are going to mix a lot of food, and they will have heartburn. Other people are going to mix food, they will get diarrhea in the morning, they will be vomiting. Or like on 24th, 25th, 26th, even from 23rd, people are going to drink a lot of alcohol. But remember, we recommend at least. Remember, we recommend at least 1 to 2 glasses of red wine per day for adults. For children.
Now, when you tell people to take red wine, people will say even the other brand is red, so I can take. Let us just advise them not to take, because in the end, someone might not really be so specific about the brands and the colors.
Yeah, but you know, in nutrition, we do not say stop. In nutrition, we don't have the words don't. In nutrition, we don't have the words of don't do this, stop this, avoid. No, we talk about moderation. We talk about portion control. That's the difference, because the body will need these nutrients.
In alcohol?
And to depend on them. I didn't say alcohol. Because alcohol itself has empty calories. The body cannot depend on
Well, let us talk about the diseases you had talked about earlier.
I began heartburn. So everyone knows what a heartburn is. And this heartburn actually it happens when food has compressed on the you know, the stomach has 3 parts. That first entry, where food enters from, when the stomach compresses it can be due to when you eat immediately and you sleep. It can be due to that you've eaten a lot of food. It can be due to maybe you've overmixed different brands of food. So you can easily have the heartburn. And the remedy for heartburn, you can just take water and maybe have a sit-up position, relax, move around, and that burn will eventually leave. Not previously purported to taking soda ash, sweets, sugar, all those ones do not
Some
relieve
people
it.
take vinegar.
No, all those ones can actually predispose you. Now, vinegar can, if you've not taken any other foods, can actually erode you and you get ulcers. Other conditions that will result, most they are gastrointestinal. I had talked about diarrhea. Make sure the food handlers, if they do not wash hands, trust me, people are going to get diarrhea, people are going to get nausea. Cook that meat very well. If you are not serious, you can actually get botulism. But these are very strong microorganisms that they can actually bring your illness to admission. Now even you have anthrax in Western Uganda.
And actually, I've lost one of the people I know. He has succumbed to anthrax. He's one of the people I know. He died, I think, 4 days ago. I knew him physically.
Could people now resort to vegan diets in Christmas? Yes.
Now, what is that?
Because it would be my advice now to persons who do not know the animals which they are going to eat, which region they are from, and from specific people. Remember, this is business, and it's very hard to convince a person that this does not have anthrax. I don't know how the Ministry of Health and maybe Department of Animal Health is trying to protect the consumers in regard to anthrax in such Christmas period.
I know there is a quarantine that is in those districts of Sembabule, Chotera, Rakai, but then we don't know what happens in Nakasongola. We don't know what happens in Chankwanzi.
And even what happens at night. People can transfer animals at night. Because this is business, it's going to be a holiday, and people really want meat. So in my personal view, I would actually encourage you to take some good vegetables. Make some good kachumbari. You can make good kachumbari actually. You put there your little posho, simple matoka, and you have
on Christmas. You're talking about posho on Christmas.
Yes. If I come to your place for Christmas, prepare me that we shall have
posho.
Because me, I'm looking at nutrients. For example, kachumbari.
No, let us start with posho on Christmas. Posho.
Yes. What's wrong with
But
posho?
I've had the nutrients all these other days. Christmas is another one.
No, Christmas is just it's the birth of Jesus Christ, but also a big mindset for food, which should change.
Okay, let's talk about the nutrients. You're talking about in kachumbari.
Kachumbari, for example, it has lycopene. We are focusing at lycopene. All colored vegetables and fruits have lycopene, but especially the vegetables. And looking at lycopene is very essential for prostate cancer. For many who are above 40 years and above, and you've been screened for prostate cancer, and you've been told that maybe on stage 1, stage 2, maybe you don't have, resort to kachumbari. Trust me, you'll give us the results.
Only those who have tested?
No. Every person above 40 years. Yes. Actually, as you age, that's a risk factor to getting non-communicable diseases. Being 40 years and above, you're at a risk. You shouldn't wait first be told. No, you should go for screening. So in this Christmas, we have behaviors that we're encouraging. Number one, exercise. We have different forms of exercise, Mr. Adrian. Which exercise do you do?
I think the commonest is I go down the stairs and come up. So once in a while I walk.
You should walk from
around
to
2 kilometers, but I don't go beyond that.
Now
the most common I do is the stairs from this 13th floor to ground, and I come back. That is, at least I do that daily.
Okay. Don't you use lifts?
I mean, depends.
Okay, but to have.
But at least even if I enter through a lift, that is something I do every day.
Okay, but you have walking as a form of exercise. You have jogging. You can jog around your house. We have home activities. If you have a maid at home and you want to lose weight, you can decide to do that housework yourself. And it is hectic. You will sweat. And first working at exercise that make you sweat. That's an exercise. I don't know which other exercise will make you sweat. Of course, also encourage, if you can also call your workers to do some yourself housework. You can do that.
Yeah,
gardening.
Even going to the villages.
Simple gardening around your house, and trust me, you will be doing exercise. And also another exercise is the one in bed for married people. You can do that exercises, and you sweat. When you sweat, we consider it as an exercise. If you don't sweat, it's not an exercise. And of course, remember, we have
He's
to.
Still a young man.
We have to make sure that these exercises are 30 minutes, and at least 3 to 5 times a week, for us to meet the WHO standard, especially in this Christmas. Number 2 recommendation that we could send out that are very important and relevant to eating is that you should know what you eat. Do not try foods you've never tried.
You were actually talking about the nutrients. You had given us just the few nutrients in kachumbari, and now that you're saying it is important to know what you eat, what are the other things that someone can really try out eating that are important?
Okay. Once again, we shall go back to our health eating plate, Mr. Edrin.
Yes.
Health eating plate, it has a half of it having fruits and vegetables. Normally, every person who comes to my inbox and says, "What should I eat?" Nutritionist KD, what should I eat? I normally tell them, reflect back to health eating plate. Health eating plate is designed in a form that it has half of it fruits and vegetables. Full stop. Then a quarter protein, a quarter carbohydrates. For different persons, but that's the health eating plate. If you want to gain weight, we draw for you a different one. If you want to lose weight, we draw for you a different one. But the standard one is a half plate of vegetables and fruits, and then a quarter carbs, a quarter proteins. So the different nutrients that are in fruits, actually, when I saw a person yesterday post on Twitter that you need a lot of proteins important, and carbohydrates important, fruits and vegetables less important. I was like, what? This is murder. Person should be arrested.
And of course, social media will give you all these
vegetables and fruits that are most important, because in vegetables and fruits we have starchy vegetables that provide you already even with carbohydrates. For example, pumpkins, carrots, broccoli, all those ones are starchy. So that's why if you make a broccoli alone and you put beans you eat, you get satisfied. Understand? So make the plate should be having fruits and vegetables. The fruits are very important. When we talk about water soluble vitamins, all the B complexes that are very important for anti-aging. If you want to keep looking young just like me, just resort to a health eating plate.
We are yet to put you on the wall to tell us your age. So that will justify what you've just said. Anyway, we continue with the nutrients you're talking about.
Yeah. We are still talking about the water soluble vitamins. Yes. These are only gotten from the fruits and vegetables. And they are normally found abundant in the flesh ones.
Okay.
So in this Christmas, prioritize eating fresh vegetables, prioritize eating whole fruits, make your fridge fun, remove all those processed products. You can visit someone and opens a fridge, you ask yourself, is it a supermarket or he's just showing off? Please do not stock all the things that are not important. If you have children below 5 years, if you're also about 40 years, what are they doing? In this Christmas, do not actually carry them to our people in the villages. That people who have shopped already. And there are people there who have already shopped all these sweet things. You are the uncle from Kampala, the aunt from Kampala.
Now, like seriously, how do you go to the village?
Do not bring them to us.
Soda.
But did I say they carry soda? Let them not carry soda for us.
No, I mean, how do you
buy
go to
watermelon?
the village?
Let them go to Kalere, buy watermelon, buy fruits, and carry them in the village. Carry rice. No, do not carry any type of bread. Do not carry any type of soda. Let people in the village. Actually, we're going to even find our mangoes there and our guavas. It is a season. Yes. Do not carry them. Carry them rice. Carry them tangible things, big ones, because you also come with a car full of matok and other products in the village.
Now, when you talk about not carrying this stuff to the people in the village, then I know some categories about to rebel. Why? Because, these are things that they expect. Watermelon, some have watermelon.
No.
They have
Do you know there are some...
Now, no, I mean, I'm talking about a few villages around.
Okay.
They have the guavas. We have all these things. So all we want is those things from Kampala. The bread in Kampala tastes different, the soda and all that. But we are taking a short commercial break. When we return, we shall see. You can as well be part of this conversation. Follow us on our social media platforms, that is Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, COU Family TV. And leave a question or a comment. We shall respond to it.
For God so loved the world that he gave his only Son, that whoever believes should not perish but have eternal life.
Because once Christ warns about something, it calls for attention as believers. When God warns us about something, it means that we are susceptible to it.
Finally, be strong in the Lord and in the strength of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that you may be able to stand against the schemes of the devil.
Moses, Ramesses, you grew up together, close as brothers. Remember the prophecy. Samson, chosen by the living God.
You dare to defy me? Let the furnace be heated sevenfold. Bind them and cast them into the fire.
It begins.
Take the
A very welcome back from that commercial break. This is Family Hour, empowering families one episode at a time. Today we are empowering your eating habits. So it is important that you pay attention to what we are discussing today. We are looking at how you can revamp your eating habits. I know when we are at work, we eat a lot. I imagine downtown here in Nakasero, someone opens their shop, they sit in the morning, they take tea with bread, and then at around 11 someone will take a muchomo. A stick is 1,000, so they'll take it. At 1 they'll eat lunch. At 3 they'll take a piece of chicken. We have guys who sell pieces in metallic bowls. And then at 4:30, someone takes tea. At 6, they are going back home. They'll still take a cup of porridge. Then at around 9, they'll eat supper. And then probably at around 11, before they sleep, they take another cup of tea and bread, maybe. So we want to know whether really that is healthy for your body. And now that we are getting into the festive season, Christmas is eating and drinking. We cannot run away from that. But what do you eat and how do you eat? That is what we are answering this evening. We are with Danielle Kamara Keddi, a clinical nutritionist. Danielle, before the break, you were telling us quite a number of things, especially the various nutrients that are found in the fruits and the vegetables. But we now want to see how we can prepare our food, a healthy diet, a health plate this Christmas.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much. Of course, preparation methods of different foods give us different nutrients. Because, why do we cook food? It could be the first question.
There is food you cannot eat raw, like matoke. Can you really eat matoke in its raw form?
Now we cook food to make it palatable.
Yes.
That's the function you're trying to bring up across. Another function is that we cook food to make it appealing. We cook food to make it pleasant. We cook food to make it able to be digestible, make it easily absorbed by the body. We cook food to kill microorganisms. We cook food for various reasons. To activate nutrients, some foods work well and release the active nutrients when it is prepared. And some foods actually they are broken down into simpler. Imagine taking sweet potato when it is not prepared. Imagine kujia chitakuri when it is raw from the garden. Do you think you will get the nutrients? Of course you will not. Now we have different.
But very many people in the village do that.
No.
Chitakuri, they'll eat it.
What is chitakuri?
I know it. Someone will eat a chitakuri.
That's sweet potato, right?
Yes, I know. They eat sweet potato, they eat cassava, they eat...
But they just do them to quench hunger, not that because they are nutritious.
It has become part of life.
Yeah, which actually everyone does, almost everyone. That means, have you ever eaten food and you feel you're satisfied but you should add on? That's what you're doing. You're feeding the stomach but you're not getting the nutrients. That's what we want to avoid apparently. Now, preparation methods are very important. Number one, we have steaming. What is steaming? Steaming is, for example, you get your saucepan, you put the banana stalks, the leaves, then you put the food you want to prepare. Steaming can be used for different foods. You can steam matoke, you can steam cassava, you can steam sweet potatoes, you can steam, those are carbohydrates. You can steam proteins like fish, but you can't steam meat.
How long should this food be steamed?
Depending on which type of food you are preparing.
No, I mean matoke, because there is matoke that is steamed and it even becomes sticky. So excessively, like the matoke we eat on events, extremely steamed that it even becomes sticky. And when you find a typical Muganda, they'll appreciate that. But is it still nutritious?
Depending on how the food has stayed for long. If food is served when it has just been prepared from fresh garden, the food will still have the nutrients. Unless it has stayed for more than 6 hours, 8, 10, even you find now the matoke has been is a syrup over one. It's not nutritious. So that's steaming. Steaming proteins, you can steam fish. Fish is the most one you can steam. You can steam a fresh fish or a smoked fish, and you just cut all the spices, you add them together. Then you can also steam the vegetables and fruits. For example, you can steam nakati, sukuma, buga, but you can't steam broccoli. It will not come out better. That's steaming basically, and it's one of the best methods that has shown to reserve the nutrients till you take them.
Contrary to frying, which is very common.
I haven't talked about it.
No, I mean contrary to that, which is very common.
Yes. The deep frying, the oven frying, all those ones are not important.
Okay.
Yes. Number 2, we have boiling. Now for boiling, you have to put water in a saucepan or in a pan. Then you put the food you want to cook inside. You subject food to heat automatically. You can boil rice. You can also actually steam rice. I forgot. You can also steam rice, but you can also boil it. Actually, you can now boil it. Then you add spices when it's starting to get ready, so that these spices do not lose the nutrients. Like you can add in broccoli, you make vegetable rice. You can add in cowpeas. You can add in everything to make vegetable rice and make it look yummy. You can also add in carrots, pepper, among others, when it is a bit to get ready, so that these are not overcooked. You can boil matoke. You can boil meat. Yes, all meat is supposed to be boiled. Yes, all meats.
There is a common phrase that we normally use when we go to restaurants. Njagala ennyama ya boilo. So, is it the boiling you're talking about?
Now, what normally people do is that they normally boil. Then again, they after feeling that this meat is ready, they remove the meat. They put it aside. Then now they prepare spices. They put cooking oil. Then they fry and again keep a few that's not fried. Now later they say this is for boiled customers, like maybe 5 of them. That hotel has specific people.
Like now there is something that my Jaja, the late, used to do. On Christmas, she gets her what they call boxy, that particular saucepan we call boxy. So she cuts the meat into small pieces, puts it into that boxy. She adds the water and a few ingredients like onions, tomatoes, of course, and curry powder. Then covers it, puts it on top of the matoke, and then
it boils.
It boils.
That's also called boiling. On top of steaming.
Okay.
Yes. It's also a health cooking method, but why would you add in the modern spices? We shouldn't actually overspice this meat to make it lose the original content. So that's why you shouldn't add in, I will not speak the spices, but the locally, you should use the locally available ones.
Like?
Carrots, tomatoes, oatmeal, celery. All the things are spices, right? Others even are used to coat the food to make it look elegant later at serving point. So I reached about boiling. Boiling is very important. The third one, we have shallow frying. Shallow frying is where you don't use a big saucepan, but it has. And when you put the cooking oil, you make sure that when you use your finger like this too, you can easily remove it all. Shallow frying. You understand?
So it's that it's like you just smear the oil
exactly on the surface of the cooking pan. Okay. You should not put the one where you can dip your finger. Rather, it can be scooped by
your finger.
Yes, so that's shallow frying. We encourage it. You can shallow fry your.
What are the benefits? So
because literally the body needs fats for insulation. Fats are very important for insulation, cushioning of the body, and fruits that provide these fats is most abundant avocados. And if people really take these fruits, And also you can do sort of frying to spice it up your food, like to make it look more nice, appealing, pleasant, tasty, and have that scent and to attract the neighbors and tell them, you know what, Christmas began earlier on 23rd. Yes.
Is fatty meat advisable? Because very many people go to the and ask for fatty meat.
No.
I want add, please nyongera kusavu, you know, such things. They want it. Is it healthy?
Fatty meat is not advisable. We encourage lean meat. Lean meat is removing the fat part and leaving the meat part only. So you can always prioritize like removing that fat content. For example, if it is pork, you intend to tell them first remove the, how do they call it in Uganda, chigodo.
Savu.
Hey. So you can remove it like that and make it.
Chigodo is for a specific type, but the general is savu.
It is also meat. Is it also meat? So is it savu?
Yeah, it is meat, but specific meat.
So
I don't want to offend my brother Umal. That is why I'm reserving it.
So you can also have this meat, beef meat, goat's meat removed off. And you go and boil that meat specifically. And you also know that red meat should not be taken 5 to 6 times a week. And if possible, you'd even take it 1-2 a week. If you have growing children, let them depend on the proteins of meat sources. And if you are 40 years and above, please, you'd prioritize plant proteins, unless you've been just indicated to that. Remember, we are telling you these things, but they are very important for your future, for your life. Because non-communicable disease, diabetes is increasing, hypertension is increasing, and do not forget your medicines in Kampala. For all those traveling, if you are living with diabetes, hypertension, cancer, heart diseases, don't leave your medicine behind. Make sure to travel with your medicine and keep in touch with your health worker, so that in case, move with your blood pressure machine, the glucose strips. Make Christmas festive interesting to your side. Avoid the triggering factors. If you are living with diabetes, avoid eating beyond. Ensure you eat 3 hours to bedtime, before bedtime.
Only those with diabetes?
No. I'm just cautioning people who live with specific diseases. And avoid the glycemic load. Avoid all those glucose piling that carbohydrate, and the morning you find you have the signs of hyperglycemia again. No, avoid triggering factors in this festive season, but rather remain in your normal eating ranges. And also make sure you move with your glucometer. You know your blood sugars, how you are standing. Move with your blood pressure machine and tell the people that you are sick of that condition. Let them know the person they are living with.
Okay, yes. I know it is right, but you know.
But these are conditions that are non-communicable.
Yeah, they're non-communicable, but when someone is from Kampala, they want to be the gods of the area in the village.
No, that's very wrong. And me, every time I come to your place, I quickly tell you that I am allergic to this, I'm allergic to this, I'm allergic to this. But I don't have any allergies, apparently. So I don't cause inconvenience. But people who you stay with should know what is the problem with your life. And another good method of cooking actually could be eating raw kachumbari, which is not a professional method, but most people ignore them. But because of the hygiene, multiple handlers, from the maid to the son, from the son to the... Everyone is touching the fresh fruits, everyone touching. They have already been cut. You don't want to touch the jackfruit because of... How do they call that? Masanda. In English?
Luke should come and tell us.
Okay, so you don't want to touch them with your hands, so they have to put on all the...
But Masanda is the commonest name. Why do we struggle with English names?
It is okay still, they understood. As long as I say the jackfruit and those are the things that are...
Fene and Masanda.
Yes.
Yeah.
In Nyanko, they say makach. Right? Yes, okay. I guess, understand. So, when you don't want to touch it and different people are touching for you to help you remove, put for you, be aware.
It is a common thing in Kampala these days.
Be
Go
aware.
to Martin Road, you'll find there people in heaps. So because you don't want to...
Others would not have hand washing facilities there. You don't know where they cut them from. You don't know. We are not cutting off business, but just be hygienic. And now we are talking about people who are home. Do not let fruits or fresh food that you want to be taken fresh. The kachumbari, and kachumbari can be made avocado, carrots, we can mix tomatoes, we can mix simple cabbage, especially the purple cabbage, and all those things. Make sure you cut them yourself. Make sure from maybe the first person to the consumer. Let not every person come touch. Also, make sure, I wish you people, you had actually gotten the Mebenders and the Rebenders before even you traveled, and those in the villages. It's very important. It's very important to have the Mebenders and the Rebenders quarterly. Most people have forgotten it. They know it is for children. No, rather have it. When you start scratching your anus, those parts, and you are preparing food and you are touching the kachumbari of ours, you are touching everywhere. Please avoid such, and in case you see such,
you have dandruff in the hair, and this is what they do.
Also, the hair should be covered. Make sure you don't cause food poisoning. Avoid food poisoning. There are 5 steps for you to avoid food poisoning at your home. Number 1, make sure you cook food thoroughly well. Number 2, clean the utensils to the maximum that they are very dry. Do not serve food on wet utensils. Number 3, make sure the cooking place is not wet or dampy to attract microbes to enter the food. Number 4, separate. Make sure food is separated. Do not mix food, especially people who put in the refrigerator. Do not mix much food. Meat is mixed with an orange, is mixed with what? The fridge is small, you are trying to fix. Separate. Also separate food from raw food. Do not mix the 2 foods. The 5th one is hand hygiene. Wash your hands with soap and running water. Do not wash hands without soap and you tell us that you've washed hands. No. Wash hands with soap and running water. Make sure that the soap forms a foam. Exactly. Make sure it forms a foam so that you know that you are washing. And wash hands at least for 2 minutes. When you see food, you just pass hands. No. Wash hands for 2 minutes. Make sure you eat healthy. Make sure you stay healthy. Make sure you look healthy. Make sure your health is very, very well, and of course your future is secured. Understand?
One concern. You talked about washing hands for at least 2 minutes and all that. Yes, it is possible someone will do it, but there is another thing they do after washing hand, which sometimes I don't know if it is hygienically right. For instance, there is a cloth or a towel that has been separated and put there for you to dry your hands after washing. Now, my only concern is I come, I wash my hands, I use that towel, I clean. But what about this other person who puts that towel there? How sure are we that they cleaned their hands? So advise on that as you who is in nutrition.
And I was still talking about this hand washing. It's actually supposed to be 5 minutes, but because you are rushing when running water has formed foam, just do
no
2
time.
minutes.
We even have people like
Make sure your nails
who wash for only 2 seconds.
Make sure your nails are short. They are not wrong. You understand? And now, comparative as mother villages, the nails you have, please do not prepare for food. Another thing you have to know is that those hand washing towels, you use it, I use it, he uses it. It is already dirty. You get the point. But now we have serviettes. We have the ones you just use, you drop You use, you drop. That could be the most
The
physical
disposables.
thing. Yes. You use, you drop. You use, you drop. You use.
So in environments, because not very many of our environments can afford those disposables. So what happens? What should we do in environments where we cannot
wash hands
afford?
and wait for them to dry. Full stop. Nowadays, actually, people have forks and spoons.
You know,
You've not seen
Christmas is a time where, when you go back to the village, you want to do all those primitive things. You want to taste food with your fingers and see how it tastes. For a full year, you've been using a fork in Kampala. So you want to see how food really tastes with fingers.
Which is very fine. Wash hands, wait them to get dry. Do not use your trouser, do not use your shirt, do not use your handkerchief that is very dirty, that you've coughed through in, so that you do not transmit infections.
Yeah.
Do not move infections from the original site to another site.
You're
please,
shaking
kindly.
tables in
And
this
make sure
studio,
that-
but
Make sure that this Christmas is part of your best Christmas experience, because Family TV has brought you at least a special health Christmas message that brings about the fascinating things for your Christmas. Make sure you eat very well. Do not wash hands then touch the nose. Not wash hands then touch the armpit. No. Not wash hands and no. If you are going to eat minutes, please have napkins with you. Have the serviettes with you. Have those tissues with you, so that when you want to cough, you cough in a gentle manner. You can use your elbow to cough, because you're going to be in a crowd. Those family meetings, remaining with the courtesy and the integrity, because food manners are very important. Respect food, and most importantly, eat timely. I do not encourage you to eat beyond 8 p.m. since it is Christmas. But from Christmas, you're not supposed to eat beyond 7 p.m. But remember, it is Christmas. You delay to prepare all those varieties of food. What we call food diversity. In Christmas, every house has food diversity. Actually, food insecurity is less seen in Christmas. So we have food diversity, we have fortifications, we have a lot of fortifications in the villages. Actually, that's why it is normal for people to have some simple diarrhea. Because again, people have never tasted such food and have brought it, have prepared it. Maybe the gut had taken maybe some 8 months without tasting the same food and has tasted it. Oh, wow. Please, enjoy your Christmas responsibly, take care, and remember, you are what you eat. Whatever you do, it will always come out. If you eat a lot, you have the potberry. If you eat badly, you have the if you eat a lot of fats, a lot of processed foods, you have the eczema, the skin rashes, and you are looking. If you don't eat enough calcium-rich foods, you have problems with bones. If you don't eat enough lycopene, carotenoids, you have problems with eyes, and a lot. If you want your hair to grow, please eat eggs and other protein-rich foods, avocados, and those fatty natural products, and a lot of things. Everything runs about nutrition. I can't really explain everything, but just I want to wish you lovely Christmas, and I love you so much.
Now, when you talked about people who want their hair to grow and you told them to eat eggs, that gentleman is called Luke Majumba. Instead of eating the eggs, he smears the eggs into his hair, that he wants it to shine.
He does that?
He does it. We can't go beyond this point. I know it is a Christmas season. It is very important that we mind what we eat, but we also pay attention to the other habits. For example, people going to the village, mind the speed. Do not tolerate reckless drivers, because one reckless driver will cost very many lives. So do not tolerate that. Say no to bribes that are given to traffic officers. In case there is a problem, report it to the traffic officers at the various roadblocks. Edwin Austin Mukalazi is my name. I've been with the only man who smears eggs into his hair, Luke Majumba, on camera. Now Nabimanya Mumuza in transmission. God bless you. We meet again tomorrow. Merry Christmas.
Family Hour, empowering families one episode at a time. Together, we build strong, healthy, and thriving families with our daily dose of inspiration and expert insights on topics that matter, like education and career growth.
Education deals with the minds of our younger children.
We want to see more model schools.
Family health.
Well, the public is advised to follow the Ministry of Health guidelines.
Finance and wealth.
As the government, as the parliament, we can plug those gaps so that the money that we collect from the wananchi give value to the wananchi.
Leadership and governance.
Leadership, I think, requires unity, people being united to accomplish an objective.
Not forgetting parenting.
For those of us that have children, depending on the level of intimacy, I think it's important to show your children the type of relationship you have.
Catch more of this every Monday to Friday at 9 p.m.